Hey guys, how are you? Happy Tuesday. Welcome in to another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Peralt. You guys can follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt, and we hit it again. The same game teaser is now 4-0 in primetime. We got it yesterday with the Falcons. They win the game outright. What an unbelievable come from behind win for the Falcons, and coaching malpractice by the Eagles to throw it on third down, stopping the clock, having to kick a field goal. Up by 6. Game-winning drive. Kirk Cousins. Hello. 48-yard extra point was a hit by the Falcons to win the game by 1. Game goes way under the 52 for us, which was great. So we win a 1 unit on that. Hurts goes over on his rushing number. We won a half a unit there. We gave a little over a half a unit back on the Robinson over reception. He had 27 with 3 receptions. He caught a swing pass that would have gotten it over if he had picked up a yard. He lost 2 yards on that, so he goes under. We lose that there a little bit, so up 0.95 on the day. Winning day to start the week here on a Monday. Good stuff there for us. Now, I'm not betting baseball. Big WNBA card today. Big card. We might bet baseball tomorrow, but probably not. I don't know. Wednesday and Tuesdays are going to be tough to get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday when we bet football, okay? 5 days out of the week, we bet football. 2 days out of the week, we're not betting football until we get to basketball in October or hockey in October and basketball in late October. We are going to kind of just struggle our way through. We will bet baseball. When the playoffs begin, we'll go back betting baseball. But until the playoffs begin, I'm really going to stay away from baseball, and we're just going to try to get to our season win totals, hopefully go 4-1. Outside shot at 5-0 if the Cubs get really hot down the stretch, but we're probably going to go 4-1 on those. So that's decent. I'll chip away at some of the unfortunate deficit that I put us in for baseball and help the overall record for the podcast as well in 2024. This podcast is being presented by DraftKings. The DraftKings Pick 6, to be exact. You download the new DraftKings Pick 6 app and use the code JUICE. That's code JUICE for new Pick 6 customers to play $5 to get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Guaranteed, plus 1 month of NFL Plus with Red Zone and NFL Network only on DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97-777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions may vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. 1 per new customer. Reward issued as $50 in non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 6 months. NFL Plus premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus premium terms at nfl.com/terms. All right, so we go to the W today. Bunch of games. 5 games to be exact in the WNBA, but we're going to focus on 3 of them. I have 2 bets in the Minnesota at Connecticut game. I've got 1 bet for Vegas at Seattle, and I have 1 bet for Chicago at Atlanta. So let's start with the Lynx and the Sun. This is a burner of a basketball game. 30-9 Minnesota, 27-11 Connecticut. Against the number this year, Minnesota 25-13-1. ATS, Connecticut 17-21. Now they're 27-11 straight up, but they are not good against the number. Both these teams are under teams historically speaking, but this number is really low. Opened at 154.5, has been bet up to 155 for the Lynx and Connecticut. On the road, Minnesota is 14-6 straight up. At home, Connecticut is 13-5 straight up. These teams, the last 10 times they have played, Connecticut has won 8 of them. This season, Connecticut has won both games, 83-82 in overtime at home, and at Minnesota, 78-73. Minnesota was the dog in the first matchup. They covered. Connecticut was the dog in the second matchup, and they covered. This number here today is 1.5 for the Minnesota Lynx. Look, I think the Lynx are the best team in the WNBA. I think when they want to flex their muscles, they can do so. And I think when you look at the way that Minnesota has played, they have now won straight up 6 straight games. And They've won 9 of 10 straight up here for the Minnesota Lynx. They're hot. This is a short number. Connecticut is 6-4 straight up over their last 10. They're 6-4 ATS as well. They're coming off of a loss at Las Vegas, 84-71. They were 5-point dogs. That game went under. Against Phoenix, they won the previous 3 road games, twice against LA and once against Phoenix. They covered in all 3 of those games that they won outright, but they come back home where they lost to Vegas and they lost to Seattle. They've lost back-to-back home games here where Minnesota has been just rolling on the road. They've now won 4 straight road games in 5 of the last 6 games on the road for Minnesota. It's a small number. I'm going to lay it with the Lynx. Lynx minus 1.5 for 1.1 units. That takes us to the total of 155. Again, these teams tend to be under teams, but they've played the last 9 times. 2 of the last 3 times it's gone over. It's a 2-1-1 record to the over their last 4 games dating back to last year. The game played in Connecticut went over this year. 83-82. Now, it needed overtime for it to go over, but this number is a full, almost 7 points lower, almost 10 points, 7 points lower than what it was in the first matchup between these 2 teams. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that just both these teams, really are under teams. Minnesota is 6-4 to the under over their last 10. Connecticut is 7-3 to the under over their last 10, but I think the number's too low. I think these teams score. They go up tempo and they put points on the board. Playoff type atmosphere at Mohegan Sun Arena. I'm going over 155 here for the Lynx and the Storm for 1.1 units. Let's go to Vegas on the road at Seattle. This is going to be a really fun game as well. 25-13 Vegas, 24-14 Seattle. Against the number, both teams are underwater. Vegas 17-20-1 ATS, Seattle 18-20 ATS. On the road, Vegas 13-6 straight up. Seattle at home just 10-9 straight up. However, last 10 meetings, 7-3 Vegas against the number, 9-1. Vegas has only lost 1 time. That was the first game this year up against Seattle, 78-65. Seattle was a 7.5 point road dog, and they won the game outright. That's when Vegas was without Chelsea Gray and didn't look good. But Vegas played against Seattle on the 10th of July, 84-79. Vegas was a 4-point favorite. They won the game they covered, and the game went under a total of 173. This total now is 162.5. 162.5. This is okay. This feels kind of low here. 6.5 is the total, is the number for the Storm. That feels a little heavy in my mind. Vegas has been unbelievable against the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0-1 against the number over their last 8 games. 8-2 ATS. 8-2 straight up over the last 10. Seattle's been bad. They haven't covered in their last 3 games. Against LA on the road, didn't cover. Against Dallas on the road, didn't cover. They won both those games. Against LA at home, they won. They didn't cover. They're 1-3 ATS, but they're 4-0 over their last 4 games. They're playing well. They're just not covering as favorites. Laying 6.5, they covered. Laying 12.5 against LA, didn't cover. Laying 11.5 against Dallas, didn't cover. Laying 9 against LA, didn't cover. Guess what? They're home dogs. They're catching 6.5. They're playing good basketball. Too many points. Vegas is good, but not nearly as good as they've been the last 3 years. I know Asia is incredible. I mean, just first 1,000-point scorer in a season in WNBA history. I get it. Tough to fade the Aces. Home dog. I'm going to take it. Seattle Storm plus 6.5 for 1.1 units. And finally, Chicago and Atlanta. Atlanta is 19-17-2 ATS. They've been pretty good, but they stink. They're 13-25 straight up. Chicago's not good either. They're 13-25 straight up. They're a little better, 16-22 against the number, but totals 22-15-1 to the under for Atlanta, 20-18 to the under for Chicago. However, If you look at the head-to-head series, 2 of the last 3 games, both 3 games this year, have gone over. 159 in Chicago went over. 157.5 in Atlanta went over. 156 in Chicago went under. The only game that went under, that back on July the 10th. For Chicago, their last game against Phoenix went over. 158, it went over in a loss. The previous 3 games went under for them. For Atlanta, 3 straight games have gone under, but the numbers for me, I'm looking at pace and I'm looking at tempo. When these two teams get going, when you look at the numbers, it's low. It's a low number at 155. I think you have to take a look at this, and I may be going against things a little bit here, but I think we got to go ahead and play the over 154.5 for Atlanta and Chicago. I think it's too low. When we talk about 172, 173 in the WNBA, I want to go under. Talking 153, 154.5, I want to go over. Here are the 4 plays on your screen for today. The Lynx, -1.5 for 1.1 units. The Sun and the Lynx, over 155 for 1.1 units. The Storm at home against Vegas at +6.5 for 1.1 units. And Atlanta and Chicago, over 154.5 for 1.1 units. Guys, remember, if you've not downloaded the BettingPros app, go and do so. It is free in the Apple Store and in the Google Play Store. The Bet for the Daily Juice exclusive play on the app will come at you later on this week, so stay tuned for that. I will tell you the day it happens on the night tape that bet will be there. Stay tuned watching for that. You guys can go check out all the new features, the community tab, following feed. You can sync all your sports books as well to the Betting Pros app. Download it for free today in the App Store or Google Play Store. My name is Matt Peralt. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every morning. The Daily Juice Podcast, presented by DraftKings.